Aries, welcome to the month of April 2024. It is a humdinger because we have a total solar eclipse in your sign, as well as the very rare, not seen since 1941, conjunction of Jupiter and Uranus in the sign of Taurus. We're going to talk about how this impacts you based on your sun, moon, and rising sign delineations. Your rising sign is usually most accurate. You can listen to your sun for your career and purpose matters, and your moon for home, body, safety, and things to do with your emotional comportment. But certainly the rising sign is definitely usually all about you. And today, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Lori Lothian. I'm using the Western Tropical Zodiac and the whole sign house system. I love that because it delineates the sky as the ancients did. If you want to know how to cast your chart in whole sign houses, check out my free tutorial in my description box below. Also, I'm only sharing one thing this month in terms of promotions, and that is my Sky Reader class starts in the middle of April. If you want to learn to be your own astrologer and time your best life, please jump aboard that train. We're going to take off in the middle of the month, and we run for 6 weeks with live classes, replays available, evergreen access on my teaching site to that content forever. Once you take it, you can keep it. We also have weekly live Q&As and a Facebook group. This is a high-touch learning environment with me and my assistant, so I will be hopefully seeing some of you in the class mid-April. Add 6 weeks. Now let's get started, Aries. Holy man. And in the description box below is a link to sign up. It's actually the wait list for the doors to open on April 1st. Now, let's go for the whole story of where the planets are and then what's going on in terms of chronology. And then we'll be getting this done, I hope, in 20 minutes. Number one, the big deal here is let's talk about Mercury. He's in your sign. This is important. He's in your sign for 2 whole months, March the 10th to May the 15th. That rare elemental fire energy is something you last saw in 2017. What's really critical in April is he's retrograde. He will be retrograde from April the 1st to April the 25th. During his retrogradation, you may go into a time of inner reflection, especially Aries rising. But if it's your sun about your career, your moon about your home, but you're reassessing, you're having new ideas, you're going back to the past or readdressing some things to do with those matters. You are the one with the retrograde motion Mercury, so your mind is going back. You might be thinking about the past, April 1st to 25th. You may be considering changes of mind, because you go forward and you go back, you change your mind. You may also be coming up with new ideas or working on old ideas or projects from the past. And finally, you may be communicating broadly with people from your past. So Mercury retrogrades in the house of you rethink things, you get in touch with people from your past, and you might be pondering a lot about your past in general. When Mercury's retrograde, he will go forward on April the 25th. So any decisions you make during the retrograde could turn around. So you might want to wait a little bit of time just to ponder and let things settle until April 25th about major life turning point decisions. Just a suggestion, right? Now, the other thing you need to know about this month is that Venus will also move into your sign on April the 5th. She gets in place after being exalted in Pisces, and by April 5th to the 29th, she's having a good time being a tomboy in the red that we Aries so love. So as Venus is moving through your sign, you become more beautiful. If this is your rising sign, you get your hair done, your nails done, you pay attention to your facial appearance, you're more likable, you're more popular, you're publicly appealing, you can be quite Miss Congeniality, Mr. Congeniality, April the 5th to the 29th. It's a really good time to make those asks. If you want to get something, a favor from a friend, or you want to apply for a job, Venus gives you that glow up. Yes, she's in her detriment in Aries, and so she just makes you more of the masculine tomboy version of herself. And anyway, there's nothing wrong with Venus here. Xena Warrior Princess, Lara Croft Tomb Raider. Let's just love her as she is. One thing I'd say is that when she's moving through the sign of Aries, don't forget she co-travels with Mercury. And Venus-Mercury energy can be a lot of communication about money and love, or a lot of ideas about money and love percolating from April the 5th to the 29th. And some of those love and money ideas and thoughts and stuff may really pop forward on the 25th of April to the 29th, when we have a Mercury direct and Venus still co-present in Aries. Then lastly, good old Mars, your ruler, has been so busy swimming in the Pisces Sea. He's doing his breaststroke and his front crawl. He's super powered in his lap swims here, and he will be here all the way through to April 30th. And he was also in the sign of the lap swim in the month of March. So here he's finishing up April 30th. Mars in your swimming pool as an Aries is in what we call your 12th house, using whole sign houses and derived houses from your sun and moon. And that is a deep place of inner life, inner work. It could be that you could have been cutting out, I hate those little things, an addiction, a self-undoing pattern, some kind of, excess in your life. You may want to cut away, the weed, the booze, the bad habits. At the same time, while he was moving through Pisces and continues to do that till April 30th, you may be passionate, driven, and ambitious around foreign land, shores, and travel, planning or taking those trips, as well as maybe putting a lot of energy into making money from far off lands and foreign shores. This is the house of your international commerce and revenue. In the modern day world, a lot of us make money online and we do not need to be in an office. And this can be for some of you people, that kind of passionate drive around that kind of area of income and earnings as an Aries sun, moon, and rising. Okay, so we're going to move into the blow by blow of the month chronologically. Get a pen, write it down. Someone asked me to put like the dates below. That requires hiring an editor and paying a lot of money to do something. You just have to listen and jot it down, right? A little suggestion. April the 3rd, Venus will conjunct Neptune. Dreamy soulmate love, transcendent moments, a sweetness in the area of your 12th house. This could look like a really beautiful sexual encounter that has transcendence and sex magic and makes you feel like a tantrika or whatever. It's like, whoa, because it's a house of bed pleasures. So this conjunction on April the 3rd can be harnessed by you for vision boarding, imagining powerful insights into your life, dreams, dreaming something into being from your deeper unconscious mind. It's very magical and mystical. It's even very enlightenmenty as well. Then on April 6th and the 7th, Venus, now moved into Aries, is going to meet up in a flow to Pluto and Aquarius. This is an energy of power and love and power, money and power, money and love and power. Where are you powering up in your own self around love and money matters? This is a flow between Venus and Pluto rather than a fatal attraction. It's something positive. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe how deep love can be, how I can go under the surface in intimacy, how I can also be wealthy in a really authentic way. So you're looking at how to generate that stuff. Again, April 6th and 7th, we have a Mercury retrograde, and it could indicate with Pluto and Venus in your 12th house that you may be experiencing some communications with somebody from your past that involves power and love, powerful love, deep love, or money stories as well. April the 9th and the 10th. Okay, let's go back. April the 8th, we have the eclipse happening at 19 Aries, a total eclipse that swaths across the United States of America, a complete darkened sun. This is too important for me to say much in this video other than you have been under eclipse energy, Aries, ever since the first eclipse of April 2023 and the last eclipse in Aries. These are solar at March 29th of 2025. You really want to listen to my videos about this that are much longer because it's so critical for you. But this is a North Node eclipse. It's trying to expand you, make you grow into a bit of a bigger footprint. It's making you ambitious and driven for success. And there is a tendency for the eclipse degree to matter. If your sun, moon, or rising is near 19 degrees within 5 of either side, you're really going to get a lot of kick from this eclipse. Compare that to March of last year, 29 degrees of Aries. And only 9 or 10 degrees of Aries in March of 2025. So listen to the longer video. Just know that it is going to take a year for something to really show up with this eclipse, not the day of the eclipse. It's a year later. It all reverbs into some deep meaning. Father and father figures are the sun, and moon is mother figures. And honestly, eclipses to those people can mean disturbances in the lives of those people in your life and may also not about you. Your sun is your career and your moon is your home. Eclipses to your career, eclipses to your home, right? So this eclipse is happening for me as an Aries sun with my sun at 14 degrees, pretty close to my career. And it could change my career trajectory pretty dramatically. And I'm okay with that. I'll change my career. My dad has already passed, so it's not about him. You do you. Moving forward then, on April the 9th and April the 10th, Mars will conjunct Saturn. This is hitting the hard wall. Like Saturn's a stop, a boundary, a block, a constraint. Mars is trying to ambitiously move forward, and this is in Pisces where he's lap swimming and he probably hits his head on the edge of the swimming pool. What is going on here for you? Certainly, this is that 12th house where you may be cutting addictions and self-undoing and self-patterns out, right? That's where you want to get rid of those things that are not working for you. But it's also foreign travel. Maybe big plans hit a wall. Maybe it's something to do with your revenue streams or your income from foreign places hitting that wall around the dates, as I mentioned, 9th and 10th of April. It's a bit of an explosive energy in some ways, and it can lead to kind of like the deep frustration we can feel when something's not going our way. But it's unconscious or it's subtle for you. And so it may be also some profound spiritual shift for you that requires you to be more serious and realistic and sober-minded about something that you really wanted to go forward, full speed ahead. But Saturn says, wait, caution here, take your time. We move forward into April 11th and 12th when Mercury is in the heart of the sun. It depends on your time zone. He's doing this at 22 degrees of Aries. Obviously, if you're in Aries, you're getting some more intensity. Mercury in the heart of the sun at 22 Aries impacts people 5 degrees of either side of that Aries signature. But on the other hand, we all feel it. It's a magical time when Mercury is going to, in retrogradation, be close to the Earth. He's between the sun and the earth, and we can harness that information from Mercury at the time. I'll be doing a free Mercury webinar. And if you haven't done one of my free webinars before, most people love them. We often do a guided meditation at the end to help you tune in to what asteroids are working with you and this Cazimi. So check my description box below to get onto that free webinar. For you as an Aries, it's about you. If it's the sun, your career, your moon, your home, or your ascendant, everything, it's so great for you to download some divine insights in a way you haven't been able to do since 2017, April. Now we move into a very intense sky, April the 18th to the 21st. Holy moly. Wowzer. Everything is happening at that time. It's incredible. So first of all, Mars is flowing to Jupiter while Jupiter is conjuncting Uranus. Mars is sextiling from that 12th house, Pisces, to Jupiter. Oh, what am I saying? Mars is sextile. I'm looking at my notes going, what's Mars doing at that time on the 18th? Mars is in a flow state from the, oh God, let me look at my chart because I'm having a brain fart. Yeah, that's right. It's a sextile. Sometimes when I'm doing these, I think because I'm talking about me, I go to my Aquarius chart and go, that's not that. That doesn't sound right. But anyway, it's all good. So bottom line is this. All right, look, let's dive into this a bit here because it's kind of complicated. April 18th to the 21st, we have this energy that's becoming acute with Jupiter and Uranus not seen since 1941 co-joining together in Taurus. Now, this is a synodic cycle, and it's going to open up 14 years of energetic change for you in the Taurus part of your chart. And that's your earnings and your money, okay? And there's going to be a change in the way you make money. It's going to be exciting and exhilarating. And I've done a video on this. It's called The Biggest Event Transit of 2024 in my 2024 playlist. Please listen to that. But this energy of Jupiter and Uranus coming together is being felt by all of us from the 15th or so of April to the 26th. It's just that it's exact on the 20th and the 21st. At the same time, around the 18th to the 21st, Mars is flowing to Jupiter, helping him as he's going to create this big energy for you in your earnings part of your chart. And he's flowing from the 12th house of foreign lands and revenue. But the second house is what you eat and put in your mouth, especially because Mars is cutting addictions and bad habits out. It can literally look like a major breakthrough for you in some addiction pattern or self-undoing and defeating habit in your life coming up around the 18th to 21st with Mars cheering you on. At the same time, Mars is supporting Jupiter in his conjunction to Uranus on the 20th, 21st. We also have Mercury in a conjunction to Venus. Now, Mercury is the messenger of the gods. And Venus is the goddess of money and love. And this is in the house of you. And you may, as Mercury will still be retrograde here, come into some deep insights on the 18th to the 21st about what ideas you wish to have in your life to do with love, beauty, money, and friendship. There's something that wants to learn, you want to learn, understand, or know something deeply. Because Mercury is the idea guy, the mind and the messages. Now, of course, it can be that you're out to deliver a message and you have something to say to the world that's very Venusian and you want to speak it, but you've known this before because it's retrograde Mercury and you're talking about something that you've already thought about or some ideas that you've already generated in the past. So that is the 18th through the 21st, and Mercury's in the house of you with Venus in the house of you. Now, we also want to mention that there is a hard energy going on the 2021st, which is, well, Jupiter is electrifying your earnings. We have the Sun in Taurus, your second house of earnings and money. Okay, squaring Pluto in Aquarius. Now, that's an interesting dynamic here because you're not used to Pluto in Aquarius. You haven't seen Pluto in Aquarius in your lifetime. And this is a connection between Pluto and your 11th house of great gains from your career, rewards and perks from your career, visible success in the world, even fame. But the 11th house can also be powerful people, wealthy, powerful people who want to be an ally or an assistant or help you. And that Pluto in your 11th house is going to come into contact with the Sun in Taurus, your earnings house, and that's going to look like some kind of friction. What is going on in this electrical opening of earnings? It also looks like the Sun, which could represent one's truest purpose in general, squaring Pluto. You may have a very difficult turning point regarding what true wealth and power mean to you as it derives from your career, all during this April 20th and 21st timeframe. Now, when I'm done this video and I'm going into Taurus, I'm going to get those little things out of here. Do you guys hate those things that stick out so you're supposed to hang your dress up? Really? Does anyone ever use them? Moving forward, we want to talk about that full moon that's happening on the 23rd of the month. It's at 4 degrees of Scorpio. Well, Scorpio is your 8th house. There's some completion or fullness in taxes and shared monies with others. I'll probably be filing and completing my taxes then. A fullness or completion of something that began last fall to do with your deep spiritual, occult, magical, and mystery stuff. But it's mostly a money house, and you're coming to a full fruition of things that are in the money house, including money you share with a spouse, inheritances, investment monies, etc., and 401ks and stuff like that. You're fulfilling something on this full moon at 6 months that you would have generated from the new moon in Scorpio that would have happened in the fall. And finally, last thing to say, April 28th and 30th, two things are going down all at once. On April 28th and the 30th, Mars will co-join with Neptune. And this energy is extremely spiritual. It's spiritual warrior, alchemist, and magic in your 12th house, where you can have those addictions that you're trying to resolve. Some of you will look at this time and go, wow, I overcame my addiction during that time. Because when Neptune gets involved, when he's not creating the addiction, he's helping you escape from it. Mars is cutting and ending and severing. On the other hand, passionate spiritual impulses toward awakening can be very common with this experience in the 12th house. And so this is April 28th to 30th. At the same time, Venus, when this is happening, sitting in Taurus, your money house, right? She's moved. Remember, she was only going to be in the sign of Aries until the 29th. Now she's moved the goddess of money into your money house. And as she's going through your money and earnings and possessions house, which is wonderful for you, on April 28th to the 30th, she's squaring Pluto up there in your house of friends as allies, benefactors, and great career gains. Trust Venus in her dignity. Don't forget, Jupiter, Uranus have just conjunct here to bring you financial freedom and goodness. Financial freedom, keyword, Jupiter, Uranus, financial freedom, Venus, luck. But as she's bringing it on, she has to contend with some Pluto storylines in your house of greater career gains, but also pennies from heaven. And there may be, even with a square, some sense of financial windfall for many Aries coming through the 28th to the 30th, because don't forget, even a square with Venus can deliver something good. That kind of financial windfall or sudden financial expansion can be very more acute or more likely if you're born at night when the sun is below the ascendant descendant horizon. Thank you for listening, Aries. Don't forget to like, subscribe. My description box under the More button has everything you need to know about me. Patreon community, early access, ad-free content. They're getting this March the 20th, way before you guys do. You can join my community and get Chiron, the Key to Purpose, and Synastry, Are You My Person? Relationship Astrology for no cost, just because I'm giving those replays away to new members of Patreon. And if you would like as well to check out my Sky Reader, Be Your Own Astrologer, Time Your Best Life, 6-week class that starts mid-April. Hopefully you're seeing this before we start, but I might keep the tuition cart open if there's room a little bit after that, but you want to jump in and learn some astrology with me, please do. I keep saying this is the 5th time I've taught this class. I may not redo this class, but who knows? I keep coming back because I do love teaching. All right, everyone, have a wonderful Aries, have a wonderful, but holy man, intense month of April. Whew. Ciao, ciao.